We want to welcome you to I Feel Like Talking podcast with Damon and Jay and Jay, Jocelyn, Jaywan. We are back at it again. Good to see you guys. We're so happy to be here. We're so happy to be back at it. Episode 3, I think. Matter of fact, we make it 4.
4 because we did last one. Yeah.
4. So here we are. But we got into how have you been, Jocelyn?
Ooh, life be life. But no, overall, honestly, today's a good day.
Okay.
I take day by day in my life because life be life, but day by day. So if I'm having a bad day, I've learned to be in tune with my feelings and say, today I'm having a bad day, but tomorrow's going to be better, or change the moment that I'm having. So today's a good day.
Okay, cool. Jay, how you doing?
Yeah, we see you.
It feels good to be in the house of God. I know we in the studio, but we still in the house. It felt real good to open that door, turn my key. It was like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Right. I wanted to do the cold, but everybody was already here. It feels good.
You turn it.
Right. It feels good. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hey,
how are you?
Yes.
How are you? Got a lot going on.
Yes.
But we are here. But look at this, y'all. We are here in our brand new podcast room.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Y'all inspire.
I'm gonna let you know pretty soon. We're gonna have some things working out. So get ready. But we're here.
This creative genius.
Yes.
This guy.
We trying. We just trying to do everything we can for the kingdom.
Yeah.
We can.
It's beast in here.
Thank you. Fine. I thought that today would be a good topic to talk about. Honestly, parenthood. I think parenthood is so important. When you start thinking about elections, start thinking about those things, you really think about parenthood.
Yep.
So for me, I have a 17-year-old daughter who's a senior this year, who is driving this year, who is going, you know what I mean? And we're looking for college right now. We're looking for colleges. It's just a lot going on. And parenthood for me, it means a lot for us because me and Pastor Portia for 10 years we was trying to have a child. And then so go from 10 years not having a child and now 17 years raising a child from 0 to now 17 years old. And now this is a new season we're going into.
Yeah.
Empty nest. She's going to be at college. I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? And then not only that, just the moving forward and how does it look for now? College and marriage and then children.
Whoa.
I mean,
you heard my stomach.
But think about this though. Think about this. How old are you?
28.
How old are you?
34.
34, right? So think about this. How old when you got married?
31.
31, right? How old were you?
26.
Right. No, brother, he was
25. Right? So Paris is 17 right now.
Oh,
in 10
okay.
years,
When you put it that way.
she'll be 27.
Okay.
So even if she wasn't married, she'd be dating someone. So I'm thinking about marriage, thinking about, you know what I mean? It's just a whole lot going on. So
the fact that you're even saying that, my stomach is turning into knots.
It doesn't sound right.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, for me, I've seen her since she was born. Sometimes you've seen it since you was 7 or
7.
You know what I mean?
We came the same year.
Right. So
Jesus.
For me, with parenthood is so important for me that we have this discussion because the Bible says train up a child in the way and when they're older, they won't depart. You know what I mean? So then I'm always thinking, God, have I done the right job by training her up, building her up, so that when she's not in my presence, that she's able to stand on 2 feet.
Yes.
Because that's important.
Yes.
I think that's important for all of us to know. You know what I mean? And for you guys to have a 1-month-old and then you have 2 toddlers. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So you have guys now have an opportunity, train them up. How do I want them to be? So what I'm always looking at Miles Monroe, that's my guy. He says, go to the end of a thing.
Yeah.
And then figure out what you wanted to be, how you wanted to be, and then come back.
Yeah.
And now put plans in place, goals in place for it to happen. So even with parenthood, each child is different. You know, Dior is different. Dior is that sassy.
They are 2 different kids.
I'm like, you can't even talk yet, but
Yeah.
But so there's a plan for Dawson. There's a plan for Dior.
Yeah.
There's a So there's a plan. So our job is now find out what that plan is. Your job with your husband and your wife to find out what that plan is to move forward. Because I think the Bible says even for a husband, it says do not cause your child to wrath for a father. You know what I mean? I'm like, how do you do that? Well, I know for a fact I can say stuff Or you can say something to your child, or your husband can say something to your child.
Right.
You can say something to your child that can really shake them.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's what the Bible says, a soft answer turns away wrath. If I do not want my child to go, I got to learn as a man, parenthood, how to have that. So it goes a lot with this parenthood. Because
this might even be a couple.
This might be a couple
months.
Because then we have, our culture have got to a place where we're trying to, and I say African American culture has got to a place where we're trying to eliminate feminism. Help me out. Feminism.
You say
feminism and masculine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Into a place that we're all on the level. Which I believe, if we look at the Bible, there is, you know what I mean? There is a certain level that we all should play in the household. It takes two to raise a child.
Yep.
And when we get to a place where shut up, you be quiet, male or female, I got this, that child is missing a part of their development.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I love me and my wife, again, we've been 17 years, but we do it as a team.
Yes.
And certain things, I know for a fact, Portia, you need to handle that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And certain things, she like, you need to go talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But y'all even do that with y'all spiritual kids. Y'all like that with us. So,
So I think that's so important.
Can I ask you, how long did it take y'all to learn that?
I think for us, it was because we did it with team ministry.
Okay.
You know, for team ministry, we realized that everybody tried to, even team ministry, we were their quote unquote spiritual, not mother and father, but their God. So what happened when they were going through it, they knew if you come to mom, you know what I mean? Go ahead and cry, get it all out, but after you cry, let's get to work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? With Pastor Portia, we did, let me take it to the, you know what I mean?
Don't cry.
So we had to learn how to balance both of them.
Yes.
So I think when we got married, when we had our children, we had, especially a daughter, we had to realize I need to know what I need to impart in her. Yep. And then what she needs to impart. Yep. You know what I mean? Certain things I can't talk to you about. Yep. You know what I mean? Times a month and how your emotions are. I have no idea. Right. But when you start talking about some dude try to come at you, look out for this. Right. This is what he's going to do. But you got to be soft. Yeah. So that, you know what I mean? So it's having all those conversations and knowing which one is your conversation and which one is your conversation. That's good. And what happens is we've got to a place in life where a lot of times now we don't have those conversations because we always try to figure out I know more than you. Yeah. As parenthood. So in parenthood for me, I'm learning and trying to teach other people, hey, there has to be that perfect balance in the household, especially when you have a male and female in the household. It's so important for you to realize, let's sit down. What do we want out the end to be for our child? Yes. Where do we want it to be? How we want to, and then now let's back it up. What we were willing to do and willing not to do. What sacrifices are we willing to make, and what things are we willing to pour into to see the end where they are? Yeah,
that's really good.
Yep.
So let's talk about parenthood, Jocelyn. Let's start with you, ladies.
First of all, I agree with the kids are different. I had my children back to back. So my son is 1. My son is 2. My daughter's 1. Wow. Like they back to back. So I'm thinking when Dior was born that I had a Dawson again, and I don't. Right. Dior's a completely different child. Like Master D said, she is sassy and can't even talk. I'm confused. She looks like my husband, but she acts like me. And then my son looks like me, but acts like his dad. Right. And so for me, it's trying to build a bond between the both of them and not the same bond. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even realize it too. I'm going to say her name because I can't. I didn't even realize it until Minister Nicole said something to me. Mm-hmm. She was like, your bond is different with Dawson than it is with Dior. Wow. And I thought I could hide it. But of course, when you have people around that God talks to them on your behalf. And of course, she went to go say something to Pastor Portia first. So Pastor P already knew. And I was like, yeah. And I just broke down in tears. Because I'm like, Lord, you see me. Wow. You see what I go through secretly, and you brought somebody to me that I will listen to.
Right. Wow, that's important.
That's important for me. Yeah. So for me, it was like, oh, okay. And I literally have 2 different children. Right. And asking the Lord how me and Dee need to raise them, especially during this time. Mm-hmm. I feel like our parents raising us is completely different than what we're raising right now. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff on TV, YouTube, everything, it's like we gotta protect our children. And for me, I think Parenthood is one of the best hoods in the world.
Yeah.
I love being a mom, especially because the doctor said I couldn't have kids. Wow. And then I got 2 back-to-back. So it's like, Lord, thank you for always taking care of me. Mm-hmm. Thank you for giving me the best gifts that I have ever had. Because both of my pregnancies were hard. Right. And Dior's pregnancy, that girl is gonna be something. Right. I can tell you that right now. Because her pregnancy alone, and then being in CICU for a whole week, like walking in, seeing my child with tubes in her face and all of that. I'm like, Lord, these are your children, and I think that's an important part that us as parents have to believe. Yes, God blessed us with them, but they are His. Like they are His, and we have to be able to face Him and seek Him and talk to Him on how we should raise our children. That's how I get through, and I think it's very pleasing to have other moms and dads that you can call and be like, hey, is this, can you pray with me with this? Is this okay? Like, even now with my son, I'm concerned about him not talking. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, well, Lord, what am I going to do? Can you help me? Right. And just having people around me who are like, okay, well, let's take steps to a Jackie Taylor. Like,
Nurse Taylor.
I'm a
Dr. Taylor.
She need to open up a practice. Right. But anyway, but like having her, she don't. But like having her around, like these are the steps that you need to make, and having the best pediatrician in the world. I ain't gonna say her name, but so I don't need y'all to go to her office. I'm being selfish. But literally having her and just having people who go to God on your behalf is the best thing ever.
It's the best thing. I think that's so important that you have your circle.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that you have people that you can literally call on when you don't have the answer.
Yep.
Or, what do I need to do? Am I doing too much?
Is it me?
And for me, even for us, it was good to have people in your life that was you're doing too much tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You need people that, and
you told me that before.
And you listen to them. That you need people that can not only be there to encourage you,
but to
bring you back in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's one of those people, y'all. He be like, Jocelyn, what are you doing?
What are we doing?
He be like, that's enough.
It's not that serious.
Never. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
What are you crying for?
Get on, y'all. Go ahead and get it out. I'll let you get it out. But tomorrow. One night though. So I think that's important that you recognize this child. I think it's important. Like now, oh my God, Jawan, he has 1 month.
I can't believe it.
This flew by.
She's so gorgeous,
like
y'all. Sorry, y'all.
Doing our last recording. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
And she's gorgeous.
Thank you. I think she looks like me.
She does.
She can pick up the last bit. That's okay.
It's all right.
She can look like her mother and her grandmother.
Right.
But yeah, this month has been amazing. I mean, I'm just so in love with my daughter. Mm-hmm. And right now, like you said, we got a month. So every day we're learning something new. Like me and lawyers talking about, because we was just kind of like, it came to a point maybe like 2 or 3 weeks in, we was like going through the motions. And then you could see like a little frustration in different areas and stuff. And then we where we go yesterday? We went. Hope had to go to the doctors, and then we went to go get sushi. And we just started talking.
Where did you get sushi from?
Something about the office. Okay. But it's it's Maryland. I can't even do Maryland sushi. But June just got. That's a whole nother podcast. Virginia food is just. Y'all already know. No, I'm about to say have my back.
I ain't gonna lie.
Virginia food.
I'd rather try the Virginia food.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
so we did that little hour and 15 minutes. It was worth it. But I said that to say that we started talking and stuff, and it was like she was just saying certain stuff that like kind of overwhelms her and stuff, and I was like, oh, I can do that. That don't really bother me. So we just had to start talking and stuff out. It was like, oh yeah, I got that. You can definitely feed her. I'm cool because my arm be hurting. She was like, oh, I definitely would prefer to feed her. So it just took a conversation, and we just had to learn each other what we like doing, what we prefer doing, what's best for us, and what's best for Hope. If Hope fall asleep in your head. That's your, like how you said, playing your role. And it's just like now we just knowing our role right now, so we getting in the groove of it at this point. So we know like bam. So now it's like clockwork and stuff now. Just a lot of talking and stuff. And again, like y'all said, you have to have a village. Of course, y'all know my family is this big, so we get a call every other day. Y'all already know.
We coming
outside. Knock knock. People know codes now. You gonna know. You gonna know what I'm talking about. People got their codes now, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I thank God for them. Y'all know my daughter's name is Hope, so it gives me emotional. A lot of people around us say that they needed hope in their life at this point. So that's a whole nother thing right now that just gets me. I'm gonna stop talking about that. It gets me because it's just like she's literally showing me that her name already has such a significant meaning. And not just me and Lauren lives, but in other people. So that has been amazing for this past month.
Has to be. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I know I've been praying for you.
Yeah.
It's the best hood, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
It is the best.
It's the best hood.
And it's like you don't know it too. I had a conversation with Elder Greg on your birthday when I came to the service.
Okay.
And I was like, Elder Greg, I was good in the room until her whole body came out. I was like, I stared at her, I saw her head, I was smiling, I was recording. I was like, soon as her name came out, I just fell to the floor. I was crying. I said, Lord,
did
Jesus.
you say you feel?
No, I didn't find that. They thought I was. They were bringing in apple juice and all that. I didn't even go tell my full story, but I did it. I did not fall, but I broke down. And I was like, he just told me, I said that to say, because he told me, he was like, it's just something when they come out all the way, it's just like, it's spiritual.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just so powerful.
Like that you've been believing God for. You've been believing for so long, and then to see the fullness of the promise. You know, I think that would happen with parents. I was like, oh my God. And then cutting the biblical cord. So then think about it now. That even that detachment is now, here it is now, detaching from the mother, but now here you are. You're independent, freely on your own on this earth. You know what I mean? And so I think parenthood has a lot of spectrums in it. You know what I mean? But one great thing that you said was to having that communication.
Yes.
I think that's so important that you're having communication with each other.
Yes.
That, you know what I mean? Sometimes, and then there's different seasons.
Right.
So it might be one season where you know what I mean, you're feeding the baby, but then you know what I mean, now she got to move around, so you got to feed the baby and change the diaper.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's different seasons that when she had to go, oh hey, I got to go move. You know what I mean? Or you got to go to work, and she got to go. You know what I mean? So there's different seasons. So what I've learned in every season, be present.
That's so true.
And then what you can do for us, it was so important when we had Paris. It was the busiest season of our life.
Wow.
In the midst of it.
Wow.
I mean, literally at the midst of it. This is a time where I was traveling with my apostle from Atlanta, different places, and they would call us sometimes at 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
I would have to have a bag at the door and go to the plane and fly out. You know what I mean? Portia was doing, she was over one of the biggest departments, the conference department. And we had a big conference coming up. She had to put Paris in one of those little rap joints.
I can't wait to
wherever
wear
she
that.
went. You said what?
I said I know I can't
It's
wait
so
to wear
fun.
that.
It's so fun.
Right.
I got
Deep would never.
I'm waiting.
Deep never.
I got that joint at the door.
So the rap joint, so because work had to be done, so it was different season.
Right.
So then if we couldn't we would hand them off to different people that Paris would go to. Paris didn't go to everybody. She was a prophet. When she did like this, when she put her thumb in the mouth, it's done.
I'm not going.
I don't care what you do. I'm not going to happen. I mean, so she like, well, this is a real name person.
Figure it out.
And 2 months later, I found out why. So it's you knowing your child.
Right. Yes.
It's you knowing your partner.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's you knowing God.
Yeah.
So one thing I realized about is acknowledge Him in all your ways. Directly.
Yes.
Sometimes we do it for our own purpose. We do it, but start acknowledging when it comes to parenthood.
Yep.
God, how do I be a parent to your child? Right?
Yeah.
Let's start with that. This is your child. So there's grace when it's inside of you. There's grace on the inside of you for Dior and Dawson. Right. There's and in your partner's life. Yeah. So it's important for us as believers. Don't stop saying partner. Your husband and your wife. You know what I mean? Yeah, husband, wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a grace on your life to do that. So in that, moving forward, what I've learned over the years is you have to literally be the guide. And a lot of times with your spouse, you're grabbing their hand and you're guiding your child. Hey, she needs to go to bed at a certain time. Right. You know what I mean? If she don't go to bed at a certain time, so we both have to make sure that she goes to bed. Now, well, I'm going to give a couple more minutes. No.
We have to do that.
We have to put her in bed at a certain time. Yeah. This is the reason why. In 2 or 3 months, when we both got to go back to work, she needs to be on the schedule. You know what I mean? So you have to look at the picture, not the comfort right now, because that's temporary. You got to look at the bigger picture. And you want to start your child off and now be trained a certain way. The boss is trained in a certain way. So, because again, if they free will, they do whatever they want to do. When they get older, they do the same thing. And it's hard, and it's harder to break those habits. Yep. If you don't start off a certain.
Yep. And children can see when their parents not on the same.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Say that.
Very young. They can catch on. If y'all not on the same page, they can stop with that. Yep. Then you look up.
Mommy, daddy said, mommy said, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing that.
That's so important.
We're not doing that.
We ain't doing
that. So because what happens is, the husband say, listen, you need to go to bed. Then you walk away. Yeah. He said, you can stay over there. You can stay over there.
But even with that, I had to be correct. The Lord had to correct me on that. Because when Dawson was first born, Dee was going back to work, and I had to put him on the schedule because I work from home. And Dee was like, he need to be in the bed by 8:30. I was like, if you tell me. And then I remember something that my father told me when I first got married. He said, I know you were raised to be an alpha female, but you about to be married. And that man is the house of that head of that house. So, the Lord corrected me, and I said, okay, that's what time Dawson go to bed. 8:30. And now Dior.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't.
That's for y'all dynamic.
And be honest, the dynamic of that thing, be honest, a lot of times males are more systematic. Yeah. We just went this, you know what I mean?
And routines.
And routines over and over again. Because the more you do it, the better you get. Yeah. The better they get. Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, females are the same way. Don't get me wrong, I don't know if that's the right word. No. But you know what I mean? But sometimes we could be more passive for the results that we're looking for. But we're looking for more results. They sometimes come through systems and process.
Yep, my kids know. The schedule is the same every day.
Yep. Nice. And it was off, they off.
They off. The week is off.
Right. You can't get it back.
And I can't. It take a whole week to get it back.
Get it back in.
That's so good.
Like, I know when my kids been around the people that I trust them with. Because when they come back, they want to be held. We don't deal with you. Go somewhere. You know.
That's hilarious. So it's important for I think for me, for parenthood, it's important for us to be on the schedule. The child to be on the schedule and parents to be on the schedule. Yes. Because what I realize, sometimes you can be I say this lightly, you can be so consumed with the child, you can get your spouse.
Yeah.
So and sometimes people have done it from 1 to 18. Yeah. So then when went from this, now they're going to basketball, now they're going this, and then when the child leaves the house, you don't know the spouse.
They just been in roommates. They just been roommates.
They get divorced.
And people get divorced, or they just learn to live together as roommates.
Yeah.
Because they never got to learn. They never went through the process together as parents, but also as married couples.
So tell us some things that
will help y'all.
Right.
Well, what helped us was, honestly, we had definites. Like, Paris was born in August. Our anniversary was in September. Right? So we made a decision. We're gonna go on we can go out for our anniversary.
Regardless.
We're not going out, we're not going far, we're not doing, but we're gonna go out and we're gonna do Ruth Chris.
I need to take that.
So fortunately at first, like, how we gonna do this? But I said, but we gotta be first priority. We've been waiting for 10 years, but we gotta be first priority. So here it is. Who do we trust in that first move?
But you know what you just said, that Dior's birthday is the day after our anniversary. So every year, and Hope was just born, so y'all would be December, right?
Just had that conversation yesterday. We was thinking if we even gonna do something. Right. You just said.
But because if you don't, if your marriage will always be second to the child. So again, we're training them. So what we did was, again, I said, I'm not going to go far. We're just going with the Blue Chris up the way, Wisconsin Avenue, Wisconsin Avenue. You got your phone on you, but at least give me this hour. We're going to take this hour. Boom. And her mother, I think it was her mother that had parents. So I said, hey, that was before FaceTime and all that other stuff.
Right.
So
you just had to trust.
We had to trust because
and y'all do that every year, regardless.
No matter what.
Well, now she older, but I'm saying even still,
we want to make sure that we take time for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because if we don't take time for ourselves, if we don't put priority there, it doesn't help the child.
Okay, so I have a question. How do you trust people with parents, or how did y'all trust people with parents? Because I get a bad rep sometimes. You only let your kids be with. Yeah, because that's who I trust. Like, how did y'all not? I'm not.
You saying expanding it?
Not even expanding it, but how did you kindly be like, well, parents don't come to y'all because, or do you even explain yourself?
Do you owe them that?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Do I have to explain to you why my child can't come to you?
I don't think. Oh, let me let the pastor answer.
Tell me.
I think there's time. You know what I mean? I think like with parents, she wouldn't go to everyone.
My children won't either.
I've explained to her, hey, this has nothing to do with you. She doesn't go with everyone. So why do they some families why do they go to them and not me? I said because right now her comfort zone is this person. Even if you come, her comfort zone is this person. It's not gonna be forever. This is what the season is right now. But I think you owe the parents or the people an explanation so that they won't be offended.
What do you say?
Just that. You be honest. Hey, it's had nothing to do.
You're saying you don't gotta get deep about it.
You don't got to be deep with it. This we are right now. This is who they're comfortable. Because what you don't want 17 or 18 years where the people that love you and love your child feel some type of way because there was never a communication. When you don't communicate with someone, you know what it does do? It gives opportunity for the devil. They make up
so right, they making stuff up in their head.
They make their own thing, but it has nothing to do with
it. And I never said it.
But because there was no conversation or no communication, that's when things come up. So we had to learn that at an early age. Hey, because my family, they would say, well, you just don't like me. So now we're like, bing, bing, bing. You already made it up. That has nothing to do with that. My child is a special child. Some children will go to everybody. And that's
my kid's not like that.
Right. And so then also you have to have a conversation. Hey, listen, right now we're building trust with everybody. This is the reason why we're building trust. You could say, I'm not saying this ever happened to y'all, but I'm working through my own trauma that happened when I was a child. Let's just be honest.
Yep.
So again, and it was somebody that was close.
Yep.
Y'all know. You know, let's be honest. Y'all know.
Yeah.
So I am building, but it's a conversation. So I'm building trust.
Got it.
To now allow my child to go. And I'm being honest with you where it comes. So now you have an understanding of what's going on. Yeah. So if you don't do that, now you bring animosity. Now the child, you think the child is better than me. You know what I mean? And that's not
it.
But so it is. Hey, but I think you should have at least 1 or 2, 3 people that you trust with them, that you build that. They build that with them. You know what I mean? So that if you do have to go out.
Yeah.
And you should. Right. You know what I mean? You will have to go out. These are the people that I trust with for hours. Because me, it was people I could have an hour. Right. There's people that I could do a whole day with.
Overnight.
And people I could do a weekend
with.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if it's a week, you know what I mean? Right. But that's something that I had to build trust with that person. That's good. And Paris had trust with that person also. That's good. You know what I mean? It was times where, honestly, where I had to, we went away for the weekend for our anniversary again. Mm-hmm. Paris was like 3 years old. We went to Cambridge. You know what I mean? Hilton, Cambridge. Way out there, right? She was staying with my mom. Right. My mother picked her up from school, did all these things. Normal. But this was the first time I said, okay, this is the first time we can be gone for a weekend. Right. That's it. We can do Friday, come back Saturday night. Just 2 days. Right. My mother called me at midnight. Paris would not stop crying. So again, we're building trust. Paris like, okay, I'm used to being here
for a little bit.
But hey,
now I gotta get to bed.
It's nighttime.
Right, I'm still here.
Literally, I had to drive from Cambridge early.
My nephew
back to where my mother lived at. Picked up my mother, and she came with us. But I'm good with that because again, we're building trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and as the communication said, and I was like, it had nothing to do with you. She's just a first.
And parents will always know that not only the communication with your mom, but even with parents, she know like, okay, if I'm ever feeling, my dad's gonna come.
Absolutely, no matter what.
He's not gonna.
To this day.
But so it played both. It played both. Yeah.
And that's how I am right now. Like I'm not gonna force my child to do something.
Right.
And my son changes so much. Like y'all know, they know.
Right.
When Dawson was little, he pop rock everything.
Right.
Now he be like,
ain't talking.
He do the same thing to J1, and I'll be like, what? But I'm like, that's his development. That's his.
Right.
I can't be like, Dawson, do what I told you to. Like, his brain is not even fully developed to understand. You say how to walk.
Right.
Like, that's what you talk to.
That's why you sit here in this hot seat.
Like, you say how to walk, bro. So it's like, to me, it's like, but I'm like, kids are also changing too. So it's like, you gotta let them grow into who they are and what they are, because that's the thing. But I had to ask that.
And I think it's like, go ahead.
Ain't not much to say is you have to recognize when them changing or you need to break them.
Yeah.
Break them not from a place of breaking their spirit, but now you're doing it from a place of being, you know what you do when you're disrespectful.
Yes.
I don't care if you're 2 years old. You know what you're doing.
Yep.
I mean, so in that, I like what you, Johnson, because what you and Derek do is, hey, you need to say something high to them.
Yes.
You need to acknowledge this, because these people in your life, what you're not going to be is disrespectful. You're not going to.
It's certain group of people.
The order. You know what you're doing. If you can roll your eyes.
Y'all, my daughter. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I told our family, I said, y'all, you'll be hitting. They was like, For the first time. He said, oh, did she just hit you? I said,
and
yeah.
Rolled her eyes.
And rolled her.
So Johnson's coming out in Dior.
I said, that's he was like, yeah, that's what you do. Get her. And then, of course, her Yaya and Gigi, don't hit her. Whatever.
It's called, again, we do not believe in corporal punishment.
Love type.
We believe in disciplining our child.
This is a good question. Amen. Speaking of discipline, how you feel about gentle parenting?
Gentle parenting?
Go somewhere with that.
I think, again, here it is.
Stuff.
No.
Got these kids doing backflips on people's furniture and stuff.
This is what I feel about it. It all depends on the child. And then that's why you have to learn your child. I'll give you a perfect example. With parents. In my life, in her life, I've never had a discipline. I never had to do anything other than parents. I'm only gonna tell you one.
But I feel like that's different with men.
In the cry.
Yeah, that's men though. I feel like girls are like that with their dad. Because for me, growing up, he can say stop. He can look at me and I'm like,
you don't want to let him.
But my mom, I'm like, oh, I ain't paying no attention.
Right. So, but I think with mothers and daughters, I can't speak to it. I think it's a different. That's a different dynamic on so many levels. Agreed. Because it's a battle, especially if the husband and the father is real involved with his daughter, and the mother is real involved with her father. It can be it's a territorial now. I'm not doing it because you know what I mean. So that's why I said that's why you have to raise and train up a child together. You know what I mean? So because if not, listen, what you're not gonna do is don't you talk to your mother like that.
Yeah, don't do that. You know not in my presence.
And then you know what I mean, don't talk to your mother like that.
No, that's good.
That's good.
And then the other way around, same thing. Well, did you hear what your father said? You know what I'm saying?
But me and D even do that now. Be like, D, I know you. D be like, I know you heard your mother. Right. Your mother's calling you and they meet. I'm like,
have each other back.
And you have to understand, but again, that's raising together.
It is, and so you don't even have to. He literally can say stop, and they stop. Yep. I gotta say it 20 times.
So what I say, parents, don't let your mother have to tell you twice.
No, D had said that before. He said, "Don't say she is calling you. Don't let her call your name again."
You don't have to worry about your mother.
Right.
You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah.
When your mother speaks, because what I'm doing, I'm now teaching her the authority of her mother. Right. You know what I mean? My job is to train, you know what I mean, to be there, to be the masculine one. When your mother speaks, she say it soft, she say it loud. So whatever way she say it, you got to read. You better not. You know what I mean? So I think that's important. But again, that takes that we're trained up together.
Right.
You mean?
Do things together.
Yeah.
Doing things together.
Do life
together. Hey man, I don't know. I mean, I think we're gonna have to come back on a part 2 on this.
I'm sorry, because I can talk about this all day.
But parenthood is
because you learn so much. You learn so much being a parent. You learn something about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You learn things about your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You learn things about people.
Yep.
It's like, dang.
And you learn things that what you learned, you bring it over to your parents. Like, Dad, why did I do that?
Yeah. Or stuff that happened to you, or things the way that your parents raised you. It comes back up. Yeah. I remember when me and D first had Dawson. I was like, "Well, this is how I was raised." He's like, "Well, this is how I was raised." I'm like, "So what we gonna do? Right. Or are we gonna create our own lane? Like, what are we?" And we have to keep saying he needs to write a book on slogans. But anyway, he says this is not that. Right. So we have to constantly tell ourselves this is not that, because neither one of our parents are together. Right. Wow. Both of our parents, each of our parents are remarried. Yeah. So we have to say, this is not that. And then my dad's wife didn't have children, but my husband's mom's husband had a child. So we got different dynamics where we have to communicate and say, this is not that. Right.
Period. And stay with that.
And that's a complete sentence. Yeah. This is not that. Right.
Stay with that. And it's always going to be developed.
Yeah.
It's always going to be growing.
Yeah.
Even watch it walk. I would check on you in a couple of months. You'll be like, Hope doing this now. Like, shit. It's so intriguing to watch them grow.
I just stare at her all day.
She's so gorgeous. I gotta come see her.
Yeah, I do. For sure. She weighed like 8 pounds, 10 ounces.
Okay, Chunka Mom.
Yeah, exactly. I was happy.
Right.
She gaining weight, so she's
Chunka Mom.
She's going real good.
Yeah. Parenthood is bomb.
Yes. I think we got to do a part 2 on this one.
Yeah. And even if you're not a parent, but you're a parent figure, the same thing still apply.
That is true.
Because before I came a natural mama, I've been mama-ing since I don't know how long. But it's the same things. Like, I feel like God gave me dancers and teens things to prepare me for this moment. Because, that's different when it's yours, but
every day.
It's the same thing.
It's no return.
I can't send them nowhere.
Send them back.
And they expensive.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's why we ain't having no more.
Right.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry.
So I think it's so important. So continue. I think we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll be part 2.
We'll be part 2. So but anyway, thank y'all so much. This episode, I know I don't know, we gotta cut this up like twice too. So
maybe.
I think it's so important. I think parenthood is so important. It's something to talk about in this time of season where the devil so everything can to wreck parents and wreck the
and take the kids.
I think it's good for us to talk about it so much. And and I am Damon, this is J&J, and you are watching I Feel Like Talking.